And welcome, welcome. I know it takes a few minutes for everybody to pop in here. Hey, Sasha, how you doing? Hey, Rhonda, how are you guys? Oh, I know I just dropped the microphone.
Way to go.
Joby, can you plug in that light or turn it on for me? I don't know if it's still plugged in or not. It's probably not plugged in. Sort your volume. Does it sound okay now? Oh, Carrie said, I took my sister's heart medicine when I was a kid and I thought I was missing something. Don't remember much until I was throwing up charcoal. Oh my goodness, that's scary. That is scary. It's not loud. I can turn it up. Hey, Bling, sweetheart, how you doing, honey?
I'm doing good, baby. How are you?
You're my husband. Crazy. I turn up the. Oops, is it too loud? How's the volume sound now? Does it sound okay? Let me know.
Oh, crap.
It looks bright in here, but it's not so bright on camera. Hi, everybody. Hi, Rose Petal. Anybody that just came in, if I didn't say hi yet,
Hiya.
I can't speak. If I haven't said hi yet, I can't see you. I'm sorry. Say hi again so I can make sure I say hi. Rhonda says hi.
What's up?
Welcome, everybody. I also hope Glenda comes on here. She says, I know Blink twice in 1 week. I hope Glenda comes in here because she says she's had a couple life experiences. But I think she left in the comments under my tarot video from yesterday about um, something about her equipment. I didn't really understand the comment too much. So hopefully she pops in here. So if anybody has her on Facebook, I don't have time to look for her. I think she just sent me a friend request. I hope that's who I just accepted. So, but if anybody has her, tell her to come on over here because I want to hear what she has to say. Oh, that's the first time you saw my husband? He thinks he's funny. He always tries to pop in a little bit. So listen, this is my dinner. So please don't think I'm rude if I'm eating in front of you. I'm starving. I haven't eaten today. I got a couple of videos. Actually, I have four. The original videos I picked, I have on my phone and I downloaded them to save them. Well, it saved the download on that device, even though it's on YouTube and not on my computer. So I had to quickly grab some other videos that I was looking on here, but a couple of them I remember seeing. One of I know I for a fact I haven't seen yet. I found it just before I came live. I'm like, well, we'll watch it together for the first time on here. Hi, Bernard. How are you? I'm not doing tarot today. I'm doing. We're going to talk about near-death experiences. Today we're doing our paranormal chat. Tomorrow I'm doing Oracle though, and you'll get messages from your spirit guides or your powers above. Oh, you've had a near-death experience? Oh, nice. So, would you want to come up on panel later? And you did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you did. I would love to hear about it later after we watch a couple of videos. Oh, I'd love to hear about it. Thank you, Sasha. I'm kind of excited. I mean, I'm sorry that happened to you. Do you think we'll talk more about it after? But do you think it changed your life in some form? I'm kind of curious, because everybody has a different view on how it happened. One of the videos on here The guy was saying that he didn't like it. Like, he didn't like how his life changed afterwards because time was off for him. Like, he felt like he was missing something. It was different. Bernard said, "Okay, I'm doing fine. How are you and your husband? Really doing y'all doing good. First time seeing your husband." Yeah, my husband likes to pop in and say hi. He's funny. Sometimes you'll hear him like singing or doing something silly in the other room. I got a little clip somewhere in here. I think it's in the shorts of my husband. Um, so my husband, his family is Mexican. So when my grandmother, just before she passed away, she gave him her hat, her sombrero for when she went to Mexico. So it's very important. It means a lot to him. So he put it on one day and came out here dancing, being silly. Around people around me have one before I have my coffee. I hear you there. Hey, Jules, baby, how you doing, sweetheart? You're listening? Okay, honey. I'm glad you're in here listening. I'm glad you're here. I know. All right. Want to know what's funny? So, two things. One, I noticed that every time I post, because I get most of my views, my most of my subscribers when I do tarot. Okay, and I noticed that every time I post a paranormal, I'm gonna do paranormal something, whatever, my my subscribers drop every time. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm always saying it fluctuates. I don't mind. Everybody has a different cup of tea. So some people like the paranormal, doesn't like tarot. Some people like the tarot, not paranormal. That's okay. But some people, I guess, don't want to see both. I don't know. But it happens every time. And I also notice that usually my paranormal chats are lower in number too. But that's okay because you know what? I like doing this because this is my relaxed time. Hey, Cinnamon, how you doing, honey? Yeah, I love the paranormal too. I like all type of things paranormal. It doesn't matter what it is, because I don't think anything is wrong. Just because I haven't experienced it, that doesn't mean it's not true. Even if it sounds like wacky and outlandish to some, I won't never say it's not true. Oh, thank you, Bernard. Me and my husband started dating when we were 15 and 16. We've been together over 30 years. So basically, I guess we were high school sweethearts. We were really, really young when we got together, real young. Our parents didn't like it, but they're over it now. We've had many kids, and now we have grandchildren since then. But they did not like it when we were first together because we were young. We're just babies. We're babies having babies, is what it was. That's okay. That's how you grow and you learn. And he's a good man, so I cannot complain. Oh, since you guys were 13. Oh, wow. See, my husband was 15 and I was 16. Listen, he was 15 but told me he was 18. Oh, thank you. I noticed, Rhonda, if you share it in the group, you don't get as many views unless you put hashtag Iris from Rainbow Things because it'll tag some of the people in the group. And once a day, you do at everyone and it'll tag everybody. You can only do that once a day. Or the algorithm is not up in my Facebook and I don't have that many people. So unless I do those, I really know that I don't get any views on it. That's why you always seem to do hashtag or at everyone that you can. Facebook will let you do once a day. Told y'all I haven't eaten tonight. It is after 9 o'clock at night, so I need to eat my dinner. I am starving, and I should have gotten a drink too, but I didn't. You know what? Maybe I'll grab a soda. I don't usually drink soda. Sometimes. Oh, hold on a second. I just got a message. Hold on one second, y'all. Uh, I don't understand what that means, honey. Can you explain that to me? I'm sorry about that. Glenda, are you saying you think that you're blocked in here? Can you try to comment on here and see? I don't understand what you mean. I can check my list if I need to. Yeah, I'm hooked on iced coffee too. I've had two of them so far today. If I had money, I would have went out and bought another one. That's good. Tomorrow's payday. And come on, two. Like, really, do I need to? I had one in the morning, and then I had to take a long drive to go get my daughter at school, which is like 40 minutes away. Oh, somebody's calling me. Hold on a second. It's beautiful Glenda. Hello? Hi, sweetie. Hi, honey. They can't hear you. Oh, really? Have you tried chatting on here? Have you tried chatting on here? Oh, you did? Hold on. Let me see if you're on the block list. I can check that right now. All right. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. I just got to fix this real quick. I haven't actually, I used to check my block list all the time, and I haven't in a while. So it's probably a good thing that I do it now, anyways. Really? Oh, I never even heard of them either. Really? Really? Yeah, 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 yeah. That's understandable. Oh my. All right, so let me see. Yeah, that's frustrating. You're not on here, but you can still listen, right? Yeah, you can still hop in the back chat. Look, you know what? Look under in Google itself and see if you did under your block list. Oh, okay, all right, all right. Well, let me let you go because I'm. Oh, seriously. Oh my God. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. I do. I never heard of them before. I don't. I know. And you would have showed up in my block list. That's very weird. I'll check it again better after the live. Oh wow. All right, sweetie. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Bye bye. No, Glenda's trying to chat in here and it's not showing up. But I checked my block list. She's not blocked. So but so she can still hear us, and when I post a link, she can still hop up because she has a past like experience too. So I got Sasha and Glenda coming up afterwards. So welcome everybody. I haven't seen chat once. I can't do more than one thing at a time. So once I started yapping on the phone, I didn't hear anything else. Yeah, she said she's having some kind of problem. All right. So, anyways, whatever y'all saying, I have no clue. But I'm going to turn the chat on here just in case. And then, did I play videos on here before? Yes, I did. Okay. I just have to remember to mute. That's the thing I always forget to do. Make sure I hit mute. All right. Let me go on YouTube and get my stuff situated on here. Sorry about that. So, did you guys see? All right. So, I tried posting it beforehand and it said that I did, but I didn't see the thing show up saying it's subscriber mode for 5 minutes or more. I don't understand that. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I hit incognito. All right. Go to your channel, Iris. Make sure you turn it down. All right. All right, y'all. All right, so I think the very first video, if I remember which one it is now, I think the very first video that I'm going to play is the one I haven't watched yet either. Oh, tell me I did not just. Oh, sugar. I think I just deleted it. It's the wrong damn button. That's okay. I did. I just hit delete by mistake. That's okay. I guess we're just not meant to watch it. That's so funny. Oh, I see one on here that's called The Gift of Near Death. Maybe we could check that one out. I don't know if that one's good or not. We'll see. Alrighty. I cannot believe I deleted that darn thing. I went to click out of my YouTube that I was in and I messed that up. That's okay. It's going to be one of those nights. I got to leave the bathroom 5 minutes to lunch. Okay, Kendra. Yeah, she's sneaking in the bathroom to say hi. Oh, that terrible. Oh, yeah, Nessie. Yeah, it's going to confuse people, huh? I should have thought about that. I have to remember to do that before I go live. And I want to add some more to it. Listen, I'm still learning just like y'all, especially with that Nightbot thing. But I never thought about taking it off when I do my paranormal. Like that never even crossed my mind. But that makes sense, right? But thank you, Nessie, for pointing that out. All right. So let me set this up so we can start the first video. See, it's going to make me show you myself during the video, so y'all going to have to watch me eat. Oh, maybe I can shut off my camera, huh? All right. I'm trying to remember how to do this again. I'm trying to remember how to do a video. I'm using Restream, so that's new to me because before I was using StreamYard. So I just have to remember how to, oh, share screen. I bet you this is it. Yep, ta-da, look at that. So simple. Um, all right. Share. Can you guys see this? Oh, let me go back here and see if you can see it. Okay. Oh, good. You can. I'll make it full screen too, so you guys can see the full thing. And you don't have to see all the little stuff on the side. So I think this is the one. Well, you guys will see. This is a story I told you about this is the longest video too. But this is a story I told you about the guy that said his experience wasn't so well. But he went into very good detail and he talked about his history and what he was doing for work and everything. It's a really good video actually. Alrighty. let me go back and hit mute and then play.
So I'll go through your questions, Jan. They're fantastic, and I guess starting looking at them here, who was I at when before this happened is kind of a complex question. Um, I'm a forensic pathologist and a neuropathologist, and I've conducted thousands of autopsies, investigated thousands of deaths, cut thousands of brains as a neuropathologist and a neuroscientist. And my career was um, really taking off, and it was a major focus of my life. Is as most physicians are, when you get into going to medical school is a self-selecting group of people. You're overachievers, you're a little bit type A, competitive, not necessarily competitive with the world around you, but certainly hyper competitive with yourself. You take failure as a personal insult and motivates you to become greater at what you do. And that was sort of my MO at the time. It was my career. I was in that sort of upswing phase of the young career. I've been practicing since 2004. I was a professor of anatomy and neurobiology at a big medical school in Boston, and had all the academic checks and won teaching awards and written books. So it was that was the focus of my life at the time, and was work, 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 work. So that's kind of where I was. Philosophically, I was an atheist, hardcore. You couldn't convince me otherwise. And with my work, just really reinforced that, because I can cut a brain and I can put it out for you, and I'll ask you, where's this? Where is the soul? This doesn't exist. There's no proof for it. And everything that we think about as that process of consciousness, death, dying brain, and it can be very easily explained through hypoxia, the chemical reactions that happen as the brain begins to die, which do happen. But we get into confusing awareness with consciousness, but that's maybe another day. So that's where I was, at the time, and wasn't really anything I ever thought about. Wasn't part of my life to worry about these kind of questions. I was more concerned with getting publications on my CV and finishing a book that I had just written with a colleague that we were about to start a big book tour, and which raised some eyebrows at my institution, and I had to have some fight for my academic freedom of speech, and so I was involved in some really heavy academic nonsense that at the time was really enjoyable. You live for that kind of stuff in that world. It was my wife's 50th birthday, and we had gone to Costa Rica to celebrate. And my wife and I have been together 26 years, and have some significant differences. And I thought this trip to Costa Rica was going to be a resort trip, sitting on a beach, sipping umbrella drinks and surfing. And it was really 10 days of Survivor, which is really her speed. She loves to be out and being in nature and just conquering and surviving. And that's not me. I like to be comfortable. But so we go on this whitewater rafting trip, and I'm terrified. And I should preface the story a little bit with the idea that I grew up in Maine, or always around lakes and water. Terrified of water. I hate water. I hate being around it. I was always terrified I was going to drown. I always found excuses to not be in the water because I just always felt like I was going to drown. The other thing I used to do, and I never put these pieces together until after this, and this might make sense after the story. I used to get really bored in school. And one of the things I would do is I would hold my breath, watch the second hand on the clock, see how long I could hold my breath, and then try to beat that record. And that's how I spent most of my elementary and middle school. And I always thought, someday I'm going to need this. Someday I'm going to need this. So fast forward 30 years, 40 years down the road, and I'm on this whitewater rafting trip, and it was one of the most technically difficult rivers in the world. And we had our 10-year-old son with us, which I'm thinking, as we're going down this river, this is probably not great parenting, but he had a great time. And we flipped, and I went under. And I didn't panic. I did all the things you're supposed to do, put my feet up and coming through the rapid, and I thought, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm bouncing around these big waves. And then I got pulled under a couple of times. I got caught in a hydraulic, and I couldn't get out, and I was stuck at the bottom of the river. And I came down several times, and there was a point, got to the chase of the story, there was a point where I was drowning, and I knew it. And I thought to myself very clearly, I remember thinking, you're drowning, and this is, you're dying, this is it, this is the end. And I was thinking, shouldn't I be more upset about this? This is actually very calming. And I thought about the autopsies I'd done on people who had drowned, and I thought, well, this is a lot what you read about in books, that this is supposed to be a very peaceful way to die. And then I remember thinking, well, what the heck is taking so long? And I'm underwater, and at that point, everything stopped. And I was next to this huge boulder, and which was under the water, and all the bubbles had stopped. Everything stopped. And I moved my hand through the bubbles, and they all just sort of moved around my hand in this very kind of weird way. And then there was this bright light, And I tell it sequentially, but I think Jan might understand that all this is happening simultaneously. The human brain processes it sequentially. So, and I describe it as, we'll hear these various, I used to think it's very cliche, like a sunset or a sunrise, but those are the only, it wasn't like that. But these are the only words I have in English language to explain something that's outside of normal human experience. I don't have the words for these. At that point, I was able to see everything around me, 360 degrees. And I say it, see it, but more of experiencing it more than seeing it. I knew that my wife had been pulled out. I knew it was a yellow kayak. I knew it was the guy down the river. I knew my son was in the other boat. I knew the boat behind me was coming to get me. I knew that I have a family member that was going through a very difficult personal crisis that I didn't know about, that I knew about, and I knew it was going to be okay. So that was very sort of happening while I'm in this light situation. And just this incredible overcoming feeling of love. And a voice saying, they're going to be okay. So I get really emotional. So not because it's upsetting, but because I'm in that moment of that beauty. It was just so beyond experience. And I knew my family was going to be okay. And the voice said, they don't need you. They're going to be fine. And that was sort of a moment where I just was like, this is amazing. And they just kept repeating, they're going to be okay. They don't need you. You're done. Good job. Like Jean was saying. At that point, I cut a little bit for her head. The voice in the back of my head was shouting, you're just hypoxic. You're just hypoxic. Hold your breath. You have to beat your record. You have to beat your record. And at that point, the light just sort of vanished. There was a giant sucking sound, and I slammed up against the rock and popped out of the water. When I came up, the boat behind me was almost to me, but I couldn't see anything. I say my vision was like a Viewmaster. One of those old Viewmasters, I could see and it was gone. See and it was gone. I couldn't see motion. And we were through that rapid. And as the water slowed and the boat came up to me, the guide in the boat put the paddle out for me to grab. And I remember reaching up and being, in moments of blackout, thinking, if I don't grab this paddle, I am done. And that's the last thing I remember. And then what I do remember next was being in the boat and not being able to breathe. And we're in the middle of the rainforest. There's no way out of here. There's 28 miles of river is our only exit. And so I immediately slip into this emergency medicine mode, ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation, trying to see if I'm okay. I'm the only doctor for hours, right? And I'm really worried about if I have water in my lungs, because that can cause problems later down the road in the next 24 or 48 hours. You can have intense inflammatory reactions in your lungs that can kill you. It's called near drowning. But I felt okay. I didn't feel like I had any water in my lungs. What I realized had happened is I had a laryngeal spasm, and it's something called a dry drowning. So when water irritates your voice box, it closes off, and it's a reflex, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I remember being in the boat, trying to breathe and thinking, that's really great, Cummings. You survived it, you got in the boat, you die in the boat. That's, typical, So knowing that this is a reflex, I'm trying to calm myself down, and I start being able to get little breaths in. And eventually I was able to breathe. We continued down the river like nothing had really happened. And I didn't really think much of it the rest of the day because, I got my son, I got my family. I'm trying not to be freaked out by this. And that night when we got back to where we were staying, I remember looking at my Apple Watch, because I'm a kind of a health freak, and I'm obsessed with my heart rate, sleeping heart rate, resting heart rate. And so I have a constant awareness of my heart rate. And I looked at my Apple Watch and I had 8 minutes of unrecorded heart rate in that time period. Now it takes, the caveat, it's an electronic device, sure. It also takes the heart rate at intervals. So at least in those 8 minutes, I had a period of time where I had no registered heart rate. It never happened before in that watch. It never happened after that in that watch. It didn't happen the rest of the time. We were on the river. And at that point, I started to think something happened. And we continued with the vacation. The next day, we're going down the river, and I'm a little freaked out by being in the river at this point. And we're paddling down. My son says, look at that butterfly on the boat. And I look over, and it's this huge blue butterfly. And I said, Finn, that's not a butterfly. That's a bird. He said, no, it's a butterfly. And it was so big. And it was a blue morpho. And I didn't know anything about this butterfly until way later, about a couple years later. And it followed us the entire 28 miles down the river. Everybody saw it the whole way. The next day, we were rappelling down some waterfalls. And I don't mean beside them, in them, right? This is my wife. This is a survivor vacation. So we're rappelling down 150-foot waterfalls, and there's the blue morpho. by my son the whole way. And so we called it angiogram because my mom died a number of years ago. But so that was really profound. I didn't know about that until coming back, which is kind of where I would jump to the after effects. I was on vacation, didn't really have much on my mind when we came back. And I started to notice I was having a lot of problems with time, judging time, estimating time. And you know how you're doing something, you get lost in it and you forget how much time you spent. That was every moment of my day. And it wasn't so much a problem on vacation, but when I went back to work, when I had a really heavy lecture schedule, I had labs and places I had to be, trains I had to catch, it became a really big problem. I was late for things. I would forget, I would be on my way to teach a class and run into somebody in the hall and start talking, and 30 minutes would go by. So as I started to notice these time things happening, I realized that something was different. I became very uncomfortable with my career pursuit. Those things weren't important to me anymore. I've written a couple of very bad novels, horror novels, but I say that I was the best character I ever created because I was this piece of paper, and I couldn't identify with that anymore. Those things weren't important to me. And here I was in this intense Boston, malignant academic environment, and it made me physically ill. I just couldn't be there anymore. Jumping off of that, we ended up moving to Maine, where we're from, living in the woods and having a great life. But the after effects were very difficult, and I didn't have a way to deal with it. And so what I actually did is, what I do is I write, and I ended up writing a book. I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day, but it's about consciousness and the mind, and particularly about time, because I don't think it was anything extraordinary, supernatural, or I think I had a hypoxic brain injury, and it's called dyschronometria, and I have difficulty. I have many ways to cope with it now. It doesn't affect my life, but that was really the catalyst for me to figure out what happened. That pushed me to do what I say. I'm doing my own death investigation of my own consequences of that action. It led me to an incredible world of research that I had no idea existed. Jeffrey Long's book was so incredible. The thing that was the most important for me in terms of turning the corner, because it was a very intrusive, negative experience that I did not want in my life. It completely derailed everything. I changed my course of my career, my life, my relationships. It's difficult to talk to people about it. It's alienating. When I did try to tell people about it, it was like, oh, that sounds really, really horrible. It's a good thing you're still here. Let's get a beer. It wasn't like I needed you to understand it. I just needed you to hear it because I needed to process it. I had no way to, which propelled me to write the book. But the thing that really turned the corner for me was Elaine Stout's paper, 6 Challenges Faced by Near-Death Experiencers. That was probably the most profound thing I've ever read in my life. And every single one of those, yes, 75% of the people who experience have a very hard time integrating this into their lives. And I knew nothing about these experiences other than what I'd seen in movies. I thought everybody came back and it was beautiful and they loved God and you quoted scriptures and everybody was happy, and it was the opposite for me. And so I had a really hard time reconciling that. And so the Stout paper really made me feel very good about where I was and trying to, I'm a newbie. It's only 3.5 years post my experience. So I'm still trying to figure this all out. And I'm no great expert or pontiff on it. I'm still struggling. But what it really taught me, and I think really having this issue with being able to separate from time allows me to understand that what we do is we put great importance on the past and on the future. And we focus so much on those two things. That's where our importance is. But the value is here, right now. And getting out of those boundaries of time allowed me to put the importance where the value is and where I am right now, the people I'm with right now, which I say that death is the gift of death is teaching the ability to let go and to be alive. I mean, what's the point of music? The point of music is to listen. What's the point of life? The point of life is to live. And that really helped me come to grips with who I am as a husband, a father, a human, my place on the planet. So that's been incredible. And I think as physicians, we all try to practice this thing called evidence-based medicine, which we need data and proof to treat patients so that they can get the best care possible. And through that, we really pathologize death. We sterilize it. We try to prevent it. We medicalize it, and we shield ourselves from it. Funerals happen very quickly after death. It's very fast. No one sees the body, and you go very quickly back into life. We're not experiencing death. We've made it so sterile and kept it behind this curtain that we don't get a chance to really experience and celebrate the transformation that is happening. And I think as physicians, It's not our, I think back to all the times as a forensic pathologist, I knocked on doors to tell people that loved ones were dead. I brought people down into the morgue to identify bodies. Sat with families in very horrible circumstances. And the number one question I've always been asked is, did they suffer? And as a physician, you always say, no, of course not. This was sudden, and we try to comfort them. But I always felt like a liar because I don't know, right? Now I know. And I wish I could talk to those people again and say, look, this is a beautiful thing. And even under these horrible circumstances, the horrible circumstance is a second. The process after that is incredible. And there's nothing to worry about in that regard. And I say that, no amount of worry will transform your future. No amount of grief is going to transform or fix your past. And you just have to be where you are right now and just and love that. And I think that is kind of where I am with it now.
Change the sound of it or the look of it a little bit, and then you could tweak it. You're less chance of getting flagged, and that's why a lot of chats and lives you'll see them speed it up really quick. It's not because they do it for a reason. They do it because they're trying not to get in trouble, and get flagged for it. It's basically what it is. Yeah, Sasha, I think it's your earbuds. You can't hear me. You can hear me now. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me. What the hell? All right, hold on. You can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Like those old cell phone commercials. Can you hear me now? I'm wondering if it's because of the two videos when I was exiting out of it. Glenda, I see you. Oh, is there an echo now? Is there an echo? Oh, an echo going? Okay, good. All right. I don't know what the hell's going on, y'all. It's just me. Yeah, so Sasha brought up a couple good points. I was also wondering, and I know people have lived longer than that with the heart stop beating for more than 8 minutes, I did hear stories of that before. But he was saying, because actually I watched the video twice, he was saying it stopped for 8 minutes, but um, there was some minor heart beating or something. I don't know, something about the heart rhythm or whatever. So even though it stopped for 8 minutes, there was still something in there, but there was quite a few minutes where there was nothing at all. And then he said that he was able to basically help himself because of all that practice holding under his breath. So it was a different type of not being able to breathe. He had the word for it, but I didn't know what it is, and I didn't look it up to understand it. Yeah, exactly. And I liked his version of the story. For one, he's a doctor. And he said at the beginning he was an atheist, so he didn't have no belief system. He talked about what he did for work, which goes against basically what he now believes in, and how it did change him. And he didn't like that changing him at first because what was important to him before wasn't as important anymore. And he didn't know how to handle certain things in life anymore. So it affected different relationships and things. So that's kind of why I liked watching that video because usually the ones you watch about past life experience, I mean not past life, near death experience are all like love and light, everything's all great and grand. And he had a different version of it. And I think maybe because um, the type of work that he was doing kind of went against everything that he really believed in. And that was, I think to me, it was kind of a shock to him. And he had to learn to live again, feeling and thinking differently. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. I would love to hear your guys' opinion about it. But that's why I kind of like that one. It is the longest video. I had another one that was a little long too, not quite as long as this one. But when I was getting it ready, I deleted it. So I got two other videos that are very short, but they're good. They're good. And then I can have Glenda and Sasha come up in here and tell their stories. I would love to hear them. I think Glenda said she might have a couple of them. I'm not really too sure, but it's very cool. But it was nice to hear a different point of view than what we normally hear, you know, because we usually hear the same story over and over again, you know, and how it's enlightened it and they changed their life and it enhanced their faith and all this and that, which I can totally see why that would happen. Yeah, he changed his outlook on science and then the brain to a whole different level. Exactly. Exactly, Sasha. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why really part of it that was so difficult for him because it's completely, he was fighting his feeling. He didn't want to believe that he was changing. I would like to see how he feels about it now. Everyone's gone to bed here. Oh, you're camping? Ooh. Oh, nice and quiet. My favorite time of night is when everybody goes to sleep because it's my time. It's my time to decompress for the day. My husband will do the same thing to decompress for the day. So if everybody is awake, he'll go to the bed first. He always makes sure he goes to bed before everybody else. And I know it's really so he can decompress also. Like we need to, you know, before we go to sleep, relax ourselves so we don't go to bed stressed and then we'll have more trouble sleeping. I love camping too, and I insisted I was going to do it this year. I've been insisting for the past couple of years, and it hasn't happened. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen again. And I'm really upset about it. Like I wanted to go camping so bad. I even said, "Let's go camping and somewhere close by, and we'll just still travel back and forth to go to work." I have a 13-year-old and almost 18-year-old. Like they're old enough to be left alone for a couple hours while we work. you know, so we can still go to work and then come back that night and sit by a campfire, sleeping in a tent. Don't bother me, Eddie. Oh, I'm sure it's pitch black. You know what's great when it's pitch black outside? If it's a clear night, the sky is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the stars like you can never imagine. To get off track real quick, and we'll quickly go to the other videos. One of the best times I had ever seen the night sky. Actually, I've never seen it this beautiful ever again. One freak October, our state had a freak snowstorm in October. It was around Halloween time. And the whole town went out. The whole town had no power. Basically, the whole state had no power. Actually, I don't think anybody really in the state had power. But anyways, because there was no power anywhere around, looking outside, because I live close to downtown, so looking out into the night sky, I had a family member that lived downstairs at the time. Kathy is one of them. You see her in here once in a while. Her fiance's time, it's like, you know, Iris, you have to look at the sky. I'm telling you, you're never going to see anything so beautiful in your life. I have never seen the sky look as bright and beautiful. I've never seen so many stars in the sky, and you could just see them like over layering each other. It was truly the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I mean, I've been camping, and it seemed like it was out in the middle of nowhere, and the sky was brighter, and I could see all the stars in the sky way better than I could in town. But this was completely different. I don't know. This was nothing I've never seen before. Oh, do you? Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm sure it is filled with stars, Sasha. It's so beautiful. It is. It's hypnotizing. It's peaceful. Just stare at the sky and just soak in all that good positive energy. Oh, I wish I could do that right now. It is the best feeling. All right, so that was our first video, and you know me, I have to go on a little rant for a minute. So let's get ready for the next one. I'm going to save the youngest boy for last because he saw something a little bit different. Well, he explained it a tad bit different, not much. And the reason why I'm going to save it for last is short. But the reason why I'm going to save it for last is because I have an opinion on it. But it's just my opinion. Alrighty, let's get it going. Oh, I don't remember saving this one. I think I clicked the wrong one to save. That's okay. It's still a near-death experience. So we'll watch it together. All right, sweetie Diane. We'll see you in a minute, honey. All right, I'm going to mute it and get this going. Oh, wait. First, I have to share the screen, huh? How can I forget that? There we go. I think I got it. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Did it work? Ta-da! All right, I'll mute it and go and enlarge it, and let's get it going. If it's too fast, let me know, okay? And I'll try to slow it down a little bit.
Most near-death experiencers say that they have trouble speaking about it because they just aren't words to describe it, like trying to draw an odor with a crayon. Either the visions they saw, or the feelings they felt, or the entities they encountered, there just aren't words to describe them. A sense of connectedness to other people, to nature, to the universe, to the divine. And that changes how they see everything. It makes them much less invested in things of the physical world. Power, prestige, fame, competition. Experiencers almost always say, this is the most important thing that's ever happened to me, and nothing else in my life compares to it. I'm Bruce Grayson. I'm a professor emeritus of psychiatry and neurobehavioral sciences, and I've recently come out with a book called After. The doctor explores what near-death experiences reveal about life and beyond. Near-death experiences are profound, subjective experiences that many people have when they come close to death, or sometimes when they are in fact pronounced dead. And they include such difficult-to-explain phenomena as a sense of leaving the physical body, reviewing one's entire life, encountering some other entities that aren't physically present that they sometimes interpret as deities or deceased loved ones. When they return, they often are profoundly changed by this experience. The most common change we hear from near-death experiencers is that they are no longer afraid of death. They describe having existed without their physical bodies, when their physical bodies were essentially dead, and yet they were feeling better than ever. Most near-death experiencers say they are more spiritual, but not more religious. They tend to look on organized religions as being simplifications of what the spiritual world really is. That what's important to them is the interconnections, not the dogma that goes along with it. And they think that the type of deity they encountered, if they did, is not as limited as the God they were taught about in church. It's much bigger than that, much more inclusive. It leads them eventually to the golden rule, which is actually part of every religion we have. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But they feel that this is not for them anymore a guideline we're supposed to follow, but a law of nature. The vast majority of near-death experiences that we hear are pleasant, if not outright blissful. That sounds like a wonderful thing to happen, but it can create a lot of problems in your life. I've talked to lots of people who were concerned that their loved one now is not the same person that they married. Lives were based previously on something that they thought they shared that they no longer shared that can really disrupt the marriage. And there have been reports of a high rate of divorces among near-death experiencers. Furthermore, a lot of the families will say when a crisis happens, the experiencer may just take off and go see if they can help without concern of just leaving the family behind. So they often feel, why do you love other people as much as you love me? I'm your family, which is often very hard for the children of the near-death experiencers. One fellow I knew was a sergeant in the Marines in Vietnam and was shot in the chest. And during that operation, he had an elaborate near-death experience. When he came back from that, the idea of shooting someone else was totally unthinkable to him. He felt that he was no different from the people he was shooting at. And he had to eventually leave the Marines, which had been his lifelong goal to be a Marine, ended up coming back to the States and retraining as a medical technician. And I've heard this again and again and again from police officers and military officers who retrained in social work, medical care, clergy, teaching, and so forth. Being a psychiatrist, I've worked with people for about 50 years now. I know how difficult it is to help them make changes in their lives. And here you have an experience that takes place in a matter of seconds or a fraction of a second that totally transforms their attitudes, values, and beliefs and behavior. People have thought about ways of trying to induce an NDE-like experience safely through guided meditation, hypnotherapy, psychedelic drug use, and these attempts have pretty much not been successful. And when I talk with near-death experience about this, they say that one of the most therapeutic things about the experience was the complete lack of control you have. So much of our lives is spent on trying to maintain control of our lives, which is tremendously anxiety-provoking. And in a near-death experience, no matter what happens to you, you are totally out of control. Something else is in control of what's happening to you. And yet, you feel better than ever. It often helps people deal with their anxieties, certainly their anxiety about death and dying, which often boils over into other areas of being anxious about other things in life as well. And when they come back, they realize you don't need to be in control all the time, and that giving up control, stop being so obsessional about being in control, makes life much more enjoyable for you. And it may help the rest of us in learning how to make our lives more meaningful and fulfilling.
Get smarter, faster with videos from the world's biggest thinkers. And to learn even more from the world's biggest thinkers, get Big Think Plus for your
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Still no sound? If you can hear me, put a 3 in the comments. You can hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. All right. I think it just takes a second to catch up is what's happening. That's okay. So I know, be careful, honey. How do you dry your scrubs? What's it say on that? Well, give them to me, honey. I can look.
52% polyester.
You should be able to. Are they how they fit on you?
There's they just
All right, air dry them then. So that means no heat. Okay.
I can't do that. I have to wear them tomorrow.
Yes, it's still gonna dry them. Just put it on no heat and by itself. Don't do a whole load. Just do your
I only
scrubs.
put the 3.
Huh? Okay, that's fine. Just do air dry. It'll be okay. But it should tell on you if it's low heat or no heat. But if it's mostly polyester, it shouldn't shrink that much. She's all excited. She got new scrubs today that she's gonna wear to work. She got 92 in her test. She's happy. I'm happy for her. Huh? Joby woke you up. I'm alive. I'm live, you guys. And my little man's wearing his helmet because he started football today. He went there and got his jersey and his helmet. He's in 8th grade this year, so his last year of middle school playing football. He's excited too. So it sounds like the kids all had good days today, huh? Okay. So, anyways, on that video, I like some of the things that he had to say. Some of them. I agree with most of what he said. And I do agree with, I don't know, I haven't personally experienced it. Maybe Linda or Sasha can say how when you feel enlightened and your thought about God is going to be different after you had that experience, because your mind has opened up to different than the physical that we're used to, because our mind can only go so far. We have like a natural blockage. You know, we have trouble believing things we can't see, even if we say we believe. Until we actually live it, I think that'll help change your minds. All right, Glenda, honey. Nessie, I have scrubs for PJs. They're so comfortable. I used to be a dog groomer, so I got rid of most of them, but I still have a couple. They're the most comfortable things ever to wear. They truly are. Okay, so let's get going with the last video, which is pretty short also. Actually, I think it's the shortest one. It's only a couple of minutes. And then we'll get talking because I have some questions for you guys. All right, so let me get the next one ready. Do this again. Give me a minute. You know, I might mess it up. It's me. Nothing goes smoothly. Yes, Nessie, I did. Yep, I did. I think we might have did a reincarnation before, did we? Maybe we could do it again and have a different point of view of it. And I think the children's one would be really good. Did we have it, or did we only talk about doing it? But I think reincarnation one is good because I'm a big believer in reincarnation. Okay, so let's go to the Chrome tab. Select. The boy says. Oh, we did it? All right, then maybe we'll do that next because that's a different form of the spectrum. You got near-death experiences and then reincarnations. Reincarnation. I said it like a flower, carnations. All right. Let me enlarge this and check and make sure you can see it in the studio. It looks good to go.
My next guest says that he did visit the other side, was saved by a mysterious wizard. His name is Christian Davis, and his mother is Marcia Davis. What happened, Christian?
Well, I was down the beach before summer started, and the water was too cold to swim in, so I dig holes or tunnels in the sand. And this time I chose to dig a tunnel. And after it was over, I called my mom over to see and look at it. She said that was great, but you couldn't go in, it was too dangerous. So,
You went anyway.
no, she said to get ready to go and that we'll be leaving soon. So I got my stuff together and I noticed there was like not even a crack in the top. So I wanted to pad it up because I didn't want to wreck it. So and it caved in on me. And I thought usually I've been buried from the waist down maybe and I could get it out, but the more I squeezed, the more the sand compacted on me.
Yeah, so you tried to scream and your lungs got filled with sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, I faded out like from reality and I was just being brought up this tunnel of light, brightness, and up this tunnel I just like noticed parts of my life that wouldn't even occur to me to remember if I was alive.
Like what?
I saw Christmas when I was about 4 years old, and I saw my mom digging me out and my mom driving to the hospital, and then I knew that I wasn't in my body and that I was dead, close to death at least. And so then I came to the end of this tunnel and noticed there was a man that first, because of his robes and white robes and bright light, occurred to me at first as a wizard-like man. And I also saw relatives that had died that year, or such as my friend, or his name's Ryan, and he drowned in a pool. And
You saw him?
yeah,
Did he speak to you?
no, he
No?
was two. And then the wizard, without moving his mouth, spoke to me and said, "Struggle, you're too young to die, and you'll go back. It's not your time yet." And all of a sudden I opened my eyes and I was going down this hall in the hospital to the ICU, intensive care unit.
So what made you tell? Because, you know, most kids who have this experience, unless questioned thoroughly by somebody who's interested in this kind of thing, don't tell. Why did you tell?
Well, first, didn't remember it, but I went into the CAT scan, and by that time I was afraid of needles and everything, and I got in there, and the bright light came and said, "Nothing's gonna happen, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna go back." And I fell asleep.
So are you saying the light talked?
Yeah.
What do you make of all this, Marcia?
Well, it was interesting because when he had to have the CAT scan, he was very, very upset and nervous, almost to the point of crying. And, the nurses and I tried to talk to him, and when he did go in to have the CAT, he was out in like 5 minutes, and the nurse said, "I can't believe it, he fell asleep." It was about 15 minutes after that, back in intensive care, when he me, and he was very calm and very peaceful, and he said, "I saw God in the machine." And I said, "What do you mean?" And at this point, he hadn't mentioned anything about a wizard. And he said, "I saw God in the machine." And I said, "Did he speak to you?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "Everything's going to be okay, don't be afraid." And then he continued with, "I saw God in the tunnel." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "There was a very bright light." And I just started to shake because I knew a little bit about near-death experiences. And very slowly the story unfolded from that point, that he saw deceased members of our family and a friend. And I just started to cry because I knew it was a miracle.
An incredible installment. What happens when we... Stephanie Arnold says she knows the answer.
Rob, can you hear me? I don't think he's listening. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. No? Damn. Hold on. Yes, now? Okay. Yeah, I think when I hit mute and then I hit put unmuted again, I think it takes a second. Oh, so you have premonitions on how you're gonna die? Oh my god. Is it too loud? Am I too loud? Bullhorn. Oh. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. I didn't mute. Can you hear me now? No, Nessie. You could hear but very low when I just spoke. Hello. Hello. I can do beatbox. Can you hear me now? I unplugged it and then plugged it back in. Well, that's weird. It shouldn't do that. I unplugged it and then plugged it back in. Do you hear me now? Okay, good. Maybe that's weird. That's never happened before. I don't know. As long as y'all can hear me yap, not even spirits trying to tell me to shut the hell up. I completely unplugged it from the laptop and then plugged it back in. So maybe that's all it needed. Maybe it was something loose. I don't know. It's a very cheap microphone. I think I paid $30 for it. It's dirt cheap. So I guess you get what you pay for. Hey, Superior Dreams, honey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Tracy, how you feeling, by the way? Hope you guys are doing good. It's when I shouted out Rob. Hey, Kashan, how are you doing? We were just watching some videos. Oh, my thing is trying to
If I
pop
had
up.
all the answers, it would be a really long document.
You hear my computer? I said hi, Kashan, and it popped up, started saying something. Hope that didn't mess up the recording. So anyhow, what did you guys think about those videos? And what is your guys' thought about near-death experiences? Some people say, which I didn't really put in the points because I didn't want us to be watching videos all night. Some people will say that there's no such thing as near-death experiences. That's what some doctors say. They say it's because you have no oxygen in your brain, or I forgot exactly, and it's basically your brain making it up. And I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe it. I don't want it. All right. So one of the reasons why I don't believe it, because you know how some people say they'll see themselves over their own body. Well, um, I believe in that. All right. I believe that's astral planing, and I believe you can do that. We can physically disconnect from our bodies in a meditation state. So why would I think if somebody had a near-death experience, how would they know exactly what the doctors say and the family members say if they're technically dead? That makes no sense to me. How would they know? So that's my view on it. Oh, you saw yourself, you're up to the ceiling. You see what I mean? How would you know what you look like laying there? You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. And what else? Oh, so this is my view on the wizard part. And a lot of you guys know what my belief system is. And first thing I want to say, I truly believe that all religions are correct. I think as centuries went on, people's practice on them changed, and that's how you got the religion you are today. Okay, but I think it all came from the same place. We all have the same basic belief when you boil down to it. All right. So, in my belief is Christians believe one way, other cultures believe another way. So when they have a near death experience, they all say they see God and they see a bright light, but they all describe God differently. And why do they describe God differently? Who's right and who's wrong? Well, they're all correct, right? All of them. How can one culture be wrong and our culture be the only one that's correct if that's what our belief system is? I think they're all correct. And I think you see God in a way that is how you know him, how you see him, that's going to be less frightening to him. So that little boy who said he saw God as a wizard, that's his version of God. That wasn't going to be frightful to him. All right, and it may be because it could have been something that reminded him of a movie or a book or story or something you heard. But that's his version of God, and I think God is going to come to you in any aspect that that you can relate to him with. So it doesn't matter what culture you are, what your belief system is. It's all the same God. It's all the same higher power. But that's my belief. Exactly. See, you said you saw Jesus. You know, so Why does like a Hindu or maybe a Muslim or somebody else in some different culture or whatever the culture or Buddhist whatever will have a different version of it? You know what I'm saying? How is it that you know what you saw was correct? So who's to say what they saw? Because they're going to know that's correct too, right? And I think it's all the same people. We just envision them differently because it's not as fearful. All right. And that kind of reminds me, something when we talk about aliens, that kind of reminds me of the time, do y'all think I'm crazy that um, I meditated and one came to me and they told me they didn't really look like this, that they showed themselves in a version of themselves as close as they can without frightening me. I was going to go down dark hallway, it was like a giant full circle of bright, but I could look right at it while the light. Ooh, really? All right, hold on. Let me do the link here. I hope I did this. All right, so I've never dropped the link in a restream before, so I might get it completely wrong. I just hit the mic, so if it ends up making a noise, I'm sorry. I talk with my hands. Exactly. It could be that too, Nessie. It could be that too. And you know what? A lot of us don't know until we experience it and we have our own viewpoints on it, right? But I don't think anybody's wrong. Oh, all right. I dropped it. Hopefully that works. So if anybody comes up and they have a story to share, please take the link and come up. I know Sasha says she would. And I know Glenda says she would too. I'm so excited. And I have not done in a very long time a live where I had anybody on the panel with me. So I'm excited because I feel awkward talking to myself because I'm looking at myself. So it feels very awkward. I heard there might be an extra step or so to sign on than it would for StreamYard, but I'm not sure. I heard StreamYard is a little bit easier to hop on. I think Restream might ask you a couple of questions. Just say yes or whatever. I know I miss it too. I miss it too. I'm wondering if one night too we'll just have a night where we'll just talk about whatever subject just happens to come up. Anybody could come up and whatever subject it ends up being on the paranormal, we'll talk about, and then maybe get some ideas from there and do more along that line of whatever discussion might be. Why can't you get on, Glenda? Are you having a problem with that now? Are you having a problem with that? So, Glenda, maybe you can type it in the chat. So, when you had your near death experience, was I know you said you had a couple of them. Was each time different? Was there one that was more impactful than the other one? Like, did you see something the same every time? It's midnight here, Sasha. Oh, okay, Sasha, I understand. So, will you talk some in here about what's going on? Because I have a couple questions for y'all. One, do you think that near death experience changed you? Like, do you feel like somehow it's impacted your life and how you view things today? And if it did, how? How are you different from today from before it happened? I want to know everything. Oh, I keep having these damn ads pop up. You don't think it's changed you, Sasha? You think you feel the same as you did before than you do now? You're kinder to people. You think it, Glenn? You think it made you more empathetic? And did both you guys see a white light? I'm curious. Or family members? Did it make you more intuitive? You see, I told you I got tons of questions. I always wonder because some people say they ended up becoming psychic afterwards. Some didn't. Some just say they're enlightened. That one guy said he didn't like how it changed his life at first. Yeah, you don't think you're afraid to die now, huh? All right, honey. Oh, white light the second time. Nessie just said the link didn't work for her. All right. Maybe I have to try to look it up and see what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Fudge. Because in StreamYard, you just copy and paste it and stick it in the thing, and then that would work. Maybe you can't do that here. Maybe you need an actual link, which I wouldn't know how to do that here. Let me see. Invite guests. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Try this one. I got a different one when it said invite guests. I think that's different. I hope. Oh, sorry about that. Really? Every time was different? So Sasha, she said, can I highlight this? So you're unconscious and stop breathing on the emergency room. And when you saw, that's when you're above your body. So, hey Nessie. So does that mean? So Sasha, does that mean? Did you see any doctors? Could you hear anything they were saying? Or, maybe it didn't last that long to even get that far. Oh, Nessie popped up and then she dropped back down again. Well, it worked for Nessie because she popped up here. I seen her. Glenda, I think it's you. You heard everything, Glenda? Okay, Diane, I'll read comments. Diane said, thank you for reading comments, Iris, because I'm cooking. Oh, Sasha said, another time she was in an ambulance. Another time an ambulance came and I wasn't breathing. And that was when I saw Jesus in the light. Oh. Did you see family members, Sasha, too? I saw 4 doctors, nurse, my mother, and grandmother behind the curtain towards a hallway, waiting, crying, holding each other. Oh. How did you feel when you see that? Were you confused? Like when you seen your family there, sad, scared, and nervous for you, what were you thinking at that moment? Were you confused? Like, I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm curious how you felt about seeing that. Oh, is somebody back here? Oh, it says Queen Nessie's back here. Nessie, are you here? I don't hear you. Hold on. Let me see if there's something I need to adjust. So let me know, Sasha, while I'm trying to figure out. Oh, and there's Tracy here too. And then Glenda. All right, let me try to get this to work. Let me put it to. All right. Y'all just gotta let me figure this crap out. This little switch here, this little switch here.
It worked for me.
Oh, I hear Tracy. I don't hear Nessie though.
Nessie's probably on mute.
I don't hear Glenda either.
Okay, well, apparently on Restream, they have to drop back down and come back up.
Okay. All right. I've never used Restream before. Like, this is my first time trying to have anybody on panel while using
Yeah,
Restream.
there's a lot of people have problems with Restream of hearing people, so you got to drop down. Glenda, drop down and come back up.
How you're saying, oh my God. Does it bring flashbacks when you used to have problems with your stuff before? Remember that?
Yes. I don't know if they can hear us, but Glenda and Queen Nessie, drop down and come back up.
Let me see if I can write that in chat. How you doing, Tracy?
Can you hear
me? I can
Yes, now we can. What did you have to push?
I had to go out and then come back up to
Yeah.
my ear. Damn.
Yeah, because a lot of people would stream. This Restream has a problem with hearing when they first come up.
And you know what? When I first
I can.
unmuted, it did the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna read a couple of sausages. I keep saying sausage instead of Sasha. So she said she heard everything. She said I was only feeling I had to get back into my body, panicked, but not panicked. Weird feeling. I mean, my back was against the ceiling. And nobody would believe this. I explained this versus I could not see laying on a stretcher, you unconscious, eyes closed. Above everything, not breathing. Heart stopped when I saw light. I'm sure that was scary and a little odd too. Glenda, can I hear you?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. No, I can hear you. You're good. You're good.
It's so big.
It's like a delay. It's like a delay.
I'm sorry.
Can I go like this? It looks weird big like that, don't it? I'm trying to get it so it doesn't look so big. Oh, is that better? All right.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that better.
Still hear me? You can.
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
So, what time do you want to know about? First time? The first time is a quick. The first time, I think I was 4. Ended up getting spinal meningitis, and I went into a coma. Even that young, I heard and the doctors in this guy can't. It was at Chris. Remember that the guy that used to for the children's hospital would out. I remember couldn't heard him.
You were 4 the first time because you had meningitis. I'm just clarifying this only because you're breaking up just a little bit.
Aww.
Just a little bit.
But I heard everything. And when I finally did wake up, why am I in
You might have to drop down and come back up again. I'm so sorry. Flashback of old times. Remember Glenda before she got a new tablet had to do that all the time? She'll be talking just for a minute or two and then bloop, drop down, have to come back up. That's good to know. I didn't know that there was a problem with that with Restream. And it shouldn't be a damn problem because this costs more. Actually, I think at this moment I'm paying for both still. I never canceled the other one because I wanted to see how this one would work. All right. There she is. Okay. What the hell's that clicking sound? Y'all hear that? What the hell's that weird ass sound? Can you guys hear that weird sound, or is it just me on my end? Let me hold on. Let me see what happens if I click on you. Oh shit. I made it too big. This is too much. This is so funny. Oh, I'm gonna put you like this. You can have the big screen. Yeah, Sasha, maybe you're right. Maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be talking about it. You only see two of us? Well, it should be... Nessie doesn't have her camera on. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to mute. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Oh my God, that's loud as hell. Nessie, talk. Say something. It doesn't say your device is connected up. Oh wait, I can mute you, Glenda. Hold on. I muted her and the damn noise stopped. I've never heard nothing like it. I've never heard nothing like it. That is so funny. Oh, it stopped. Are we going to be able to hear you in a minute? I still do not hear Nessie. I see her little her little Nessie box there moving, but I don't hear her. I don't hear neither one of y'all. Can you hear me though? Sounds like an SOS. Sounds like the damn universe only wants to hear me yapping and looking like a fool. Glenda, do a dance for us. Can you hear me? You still hear the SOS sound? It stopped on my end. Yeah, it stopped. Yeah. But it does not show you speaking at all. Let me see if I can, nope. I could see you getting frustrated. Oh, she dropped herself down. She's going to come back up again. And poor Nessie, we just see her beautiful dinosaur-looking face. She is the one we've been looking for all these centuries, the Nessie. She made a shirt like that. It's very cool. Nessie, you should put it on and let everybody see it. It is so cool. You have me muted, it says. I don't have you muted. Let me mute you, then unmute you. All right, Nessie, I just muted you. She texted me. And now I'm going to unmute you. There you go. Let me add. No, I still don't hear you. What the mother effer? All right. I see Glenda laughing her ass off. Let me add her to the stream. It might take a minute for you guys to be heard anyways. Well, Nessa, we should have heard Nessie by now. Listen, I don't want to be up here talking about myself. I wonder if there's something I can do in settings. No, because when Chase it came up, it popped right up, right? Oh, wait a second. Let me try that. All right. I got rid of the echo noise cancellations. I didn't know if that maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you, Nessie. What'd you do?
I had to go into the settings and iPhone microphone.
Oh, and click on it. Glenda's like, "Are you kidding me?" Oh, then Nessie dropped down. This is too much. So, Glenda, Nessie says she had, and I think it gives you that options when you first come up. I know what's happening. I'm trying to read your lips. I think when it first comes up, it asks you for that option, doesn't it? And maybe like StreamYard, it automatically picks it up. All right, let me add Nessie again. Oh, Glenda dropped down. I hope the hell I didn't knock her down. Did you have to do it again, Nessie? I don't hear you. I can see you yapping away. Bloop, 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 bloop. Look at my night bot is trying to be positive. The night bot is saying, "Thank you everyone for the support and love." Oh, I didn't hear nothing. Sasha said Linda sounded like the devil hissing at us, and Nessie sounded like a spirit box. I guess I'm not allowed to know. Not today, anyways. That sucks. That sucks. What I did hear is something to do with Restream. Maybe.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, except you're echoing. Maybe it's my setting. Nope.
Can you hear me
Can you
now?
hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes. You sound
Right.
beautiful. You sound beautiful. So you had to go into
Thank
your.
you.
Thank you.
How exactly did you do it?
I had to go
I had to
into
go into
settings,
settings,
change it to
change it to
iPhone
iPhone
microphone,
microphone,
editing.
editing.
So when you went into the settings, iPhone microphone, was it in Restream where you did that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
in the
audio part.
audio part.
Oh, okay. All right. In the audio part, all right.
And it goes
And it goes
echo can
echo
suppress.
can suppress it.
Yes. Yeah. There's still an echo a bit. It might take a second to catch up. Diane said.
Here is better now.
Nessie, hit your echo cancellation. Make sure you want to get rid of the cancellation.
Is that
Is that
it?
it?
Yep, that's better. And just let me know if I'm echoing too. Oh, and then she dropped down. If I'm going to have this problem with Restream, then I'm going to get rid of it. But I like it because I can change the background, do a bunch of cool stuff. I think if I can ever figure it out. Now there's an echo and an accent. Sasha, you're funny. All right, Nessie. I don't hear you for a minute, but it could be. Remember before when I muted, it might take a second. When I muted and then when I came back again, it wasn't working that well. I wonder if it's just Restream tonight. I don't hear you. I just hear your Nessie moving. I'm okay. I'm glad I'm okay. Nessie's not.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. It's a bad echo. It's like echo, echo, echo.
Right. Am I all right now?
You're perfect.
But when I press done at the top, you know, so you can come out of the settings, that's when you get
Yeah.
dropped down.
Oh. Okay.
That's right.
Oh, know what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna for the next time I'm gonna look up exactly how to do it so then that way I can explain it to people. Listen, before you come up, these are steps you have to do. I heard it's a little bit more difficult than using StreamYard for guests to come up until you get the hang of it, but I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I don't think it was. Huh?
If I press on done in the settings, you automatically drop back down.
Seriously, that's weird.
Oh no, am I still all right now?
I think it's just Restream is messing up. Is honestly what I think it is. But I think I'm going to look it up better ahead of time so I can explain to people before they come up.
I pressed the echo thing off, Mama dearest.
You sound better. I don't hear you echoing anymore. Oh. Wait, Diane, who are they voting for today? She said, I'll be right back. I need to go vote on Turtle Island. Who are they voting off today? I thought it was on Tuesdays and Saturday or Sundays.
But he didn't. No.
Oh. I don't know. Well, if it's not going to work, I'll probably... You can't hear me? Who can't you hear? And my mom's saying there's echoing. Oh, he didn't have it last night. So, if we're just having problems tonight, so I'll probably just cancel the live for now. We've been on for like an hour and 40 minutes. I still want to hear your guys' stories. So, Nessie had a good idea. She said, she just dropped down. She said that maybe next time we could go to try to do the children, reincarnated children. And I think that's great. I've heard so many stories and videos on that. Oh, we can do a month special on that. There's so many good ones. You can hear me now? Yeah, I don't know what the hell is wrong with this restream stuff. You know what? Maybe one night I'll just pick for us just to come up and chit chat so we can just practice. I have no subject, don't have anything, so there's not any expectations, and then we can just figure all this out and figure out what's going on. So I'll probably just end it for now. So, is Diane, if you're still here, or Nessie, one of y'all, can you post Dolly's link and we can just hop over there and go to Turtle Island and see if he's doing voting? Go back to StreamYard. Yeah, maybe I should. But I could do more on this one, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll do that. I'll find a day that we can just come on here and just relax, talk about nothing, and then we can just make a mess of ourselves if we need to until we figure this out. Because like you said, I'm learning this stuff too. I'm still new to this. I've only been doing this for a couple months, and I still have a lot to learn and a lot to do myself. But anyways, thank you guys for joining, even though it ended up at the end being a hot mess, and that really sucks because I really wanted to hear your guys' stories. And maybe that night that we just chit chat over, over whatever comes up, I would still love to have you guys come up here and tell me your guys' stories. I still would love to hear them. I would still love it. You know, even if it doesn't work out, you guys send me a video message. I'll play it so everybody can hear it, so they can hear your whole story. We'll figure it out. We'll get it to work. Oh, thank you, Nessie, for posting Dolly's link. I mean, there ain't nobody on here right now, but and I think most of us here already subscribed to Dolly. That's what I'm saying, Mama. Just have a day that have people come up on panel and just try to figure it out and just chit chat about nothing. It's still an echo. You still hear an echo, Mama? Mom. So the link that Nessie just posted, you can't on daytime? Okay, Sasha. Okay, so maybe someday when I get out of work, we'll figure out a time that's good for everybody. And I know it's way past Nessie's bedtime. Yeah, we're all on a learning journey, exactly. So, Mom, the link that Nessie posted, it says Dolly, we're going to hop off of here and go over there. So you can come follow us. We love Dolly. Dolly is funny as hell. Vote Molly off and save Molly. It's all about Molly tonight. Oh, who's the other one besides Molly? I thought... Did they vote Molly off already? Oh, I gotta go in there and find out what the hell's going on. Oh, look at Nightbot. Put a 1 in the comments for a reading. Alright. I want to make sure my mama clicks on it before we leave. And Mom, make sure you subscribe so you can find it and it'll say live. Alright, Diane. I just want to make sure, I'm going to get off here. I just want to make sure my mama makes her way over there so she can listen and see how much fun Dolly is. Maybe Mama will join the Turtle Crew. Wouldn't that be funny? Alright, you guys, have a great night. Well, thank you for sticking around while I tried this. We'll have fun. Sasha said going to Dolly's. We'll lose you all in the crowd, but good to know friends are close. Are close. Yeah, exactly, Sasha, because there ends up being a lot of people in there. It's kind of hard to chit-chat. Sometimes I like smaller chats, just so we can actually talk to each other and have full conversations. When a chat gets too big and too much, you get lost in it, but it's still cool to know your friends are in the background somewhere. You can't call in? I don't know how that works, Sasha. Wait a minute, Nessie calls in. Nessie calls in all the time. And she lives out in... farther away than you do, you know? I don't know how Nessie does it, but she does. Alright, y'all. Mama, are you going to go in Dolly Vision and follow us over there? Call me and I'll help you get over there if you want. Alright, you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you all at Dolly's in a minute. Bye. Oh, it cost you a fortune? Yeah. But you have. I've seen you call in a few times.